Welcome to Fundamentals of Car Audio, brought to you by D&F Tool Drawer. That's a place you can go and find all the cool tools that you need to do your installation. Alright, let's go here. Let's head over to the laptop. So today's topic is on-axis and off-axis. This has to do with the position of the speaker located in the car relative to your ears or head or whatever you'd like to associate it with. Alright. Things to know about on-axis, off-axis. Describes the direction the speaker is facing in relationship to the listener. I gotta stop prefacing these things before I do them. There is no right or wrong option. It comes down to personal preference and the type of speaker being used. Tweeters are the most sensitive to on-axis and off-axis. What we're looking at here in this image is a set of the Rockford T1 tweeters. Rockford is one of the companies that provides an on-axis, off-axis adjustment in the passive crossover for you. There's a simple switch that you just toggle between the two. What on-axis looks like. The speakers are facing the listener. So, as you see in this 1980 Camaro right here, and the girl with the ponytail in the passenger seat, you have speakers facing your eyeballs. So if you could see the speakers looking forward, they're on axis. Now, on axis doesn't mean they directly have to be facing you. It just means that there's within 30 degrees of where you're sitting in the car. So as you see that arc of sound, the green arc of sound, it's about a 30-degree angle off of the speaker. That will allow you to, that falls them into off-axis. Off-axis is where the speakers are directly mounted to the side. So you can't see them, they're facing your ears. Now, one of the reasons, speakers are facing the listener. One of the things that you have to keep in mind about this is, as I said at the beginning, there's no right or wrong answer. It really just comes down to the tweeter you're trying to use. Convenient set of audio frogs here. The speaker's beam pattern is what determines how good or bad frequency response on and off axis performance will be. And what we have down here in the bottom is an example of two different tweeters playing a frequency. Over on the side you can see 500 hertz, 1000 hertz, 2000 hertz, 4000 hertz, 8000 hertz, and purple, which is the smallest pattern in the center, is 16,000 hertz. Now, why is this important on axis and off axis? Well, because you can use this to do different things with the speakers you're trying to perform. If your speaker has good off axis response, then you have the ability to mount it in wherever you want in the car. If it has bad, but it has better on-axis response, putting it in front of you will make it obviously sound better. So if you see that beam pattern there on where it's narrower, that speaker would probably be better facing you than off to the side. Most manufacturers don't give you this information, which is kind of a bummer, but tweeters are small enough to where you can actually just put them where you think they should go and play them and get a good idea. Sometimes just slightly angling them just a tad will fix the beam problem, and there again you also have to remember is what frequency and how much of that sound you're playing. Now, beam pattern also comes in on the on-axis, off-axis is location. So sometimes if your speaker is or tweeter is very obnoxious and loud, by putting it up into the corners of the dash can sometimes smooth these tweeters out. Sometimes putting them off axis will help change the tonality and just the obnoxiousness of the tweeter. So that's why I said there's no right or wrong way of using on axis, off axis. It's just a matter of trying to direct that sound to get to your ears and sound the best possible. So to recap, on axis is when the speaker is looking at you. Off axis is when you can't see the speaker and it's aimed at your ear.